Hey there, I'm Nell Stokes. Today, February 28th, ends the official celebration of African American History Month. But as we know, African American history continues to be made and celebrated daily and must also be documented so that future generations can learn, see, and enjoy the tremendous work their ancestors left behind locally, nationally, and around the world. In August 1976, I was hired by the Albany YWCA as its youth program director, the first person of color in program management. It was a new position in the YWCA hierarchy, so it allowed me the opportunity to use my skills, ideas, and talent to develop a program to fit the needs of the participants. But first, I needed to find participants, young ladies interested in being a part of an organization such as the YWCA. The mission was soon accomplished, and we had approximately 25 young girls ages 7 to 18 participating in activities designed to enhance their growth in becoming young women with unlimited potential. Each day for 4 years, as I walked past the photo of the Albany YWCA founder, Mrs. Acors Ratborn, and its mission statement, its one imperative caught my eye and pierced my imagination. It read, "To thrust our collective power toward the elimination of racism wherever it exists and by any means necessary." I thought about those words each day. One night in August 1980, I was awakened in the middle of the night with a jolt and an idea that unfolded very clear in my mind. I turned on the light and grabbed the paper and pencil on my nightstand, and in that moment, the Albany YWCA Black American Essay Contest unfolded through my imagination in vivid detail. The next day, with excitement and enthusiasm, I took my plan to my executive director, Janet Biesmeyer. She listened to my idea and the clarity with which I presented the plan and gave me permission to begin the process. Of course, an idea is only an idea until it can be developed into a worthwhile project. First, I created an outline of what needed to happen. I wrote the schedule of how I thought it should happen. Then I contacted volunteers who could assist with such a monumental activity that I thought would touch the lives of the entire capital region. A committee was formed to assist with the essay contest, and I presented them with a blueprint of my idea from beginning to completion. When they met contest rules, application, categories, age requirements, and an implementation schedule were developed and ready to go. The contest would be open to youth throughout the capital region for ages 8 to 22. In order to guarantee success for the applicants and the contest, we sponsored 3 consecutive Saturday workshops at the main libraries in Albany, Schenectady, and Troy on how to write an essay. The workshop curriculum included a film of Blacks in history, a sample writing session, and a tour of the library to acquaint the students with their particular library. The librarians and other volunteers facilitated the workshop. The mayors of each city, Erastus Corning of Albany, Frank Ducey of Schenectady, and Louis Anthony of Troy, attended the workshops and gave words of encouragement to the participants. They contributed to the contest and also served as honorary co-chairs. I wrote monthly articles for the South End Scene to advertise the contest and to illustrate some of the accomplishments of Black Americans. I appeared with Annette de Lavalade on her early morning TV show on Channel 6, as well as with Art Mitchell on his WROW radio show, News, Views, and Interviews. I also appeared in public service announcements on radio and television stations with information about the contest and the deadline for entry. There were numerous articles printed in local newspapers throughout Albany, Schenectady, and Troy, with information about how to enter the contest. I made cold calls to our local TV stations and was able to negotiate with them to tape record segments of the 28 winning essays representing the month of February. Each winner appeared in a 1-minute spot on all 3 television stations. This aspect of the contest introduced the young people to media appearances and TV production. The visual also brought many biographies of important Black Americans into thousands of capital region homes several times a day during February, Black History Month. Contest winners represented many racial and ethnic groups, reinforcing that contributions of Black Americans are an integral part of American history. In addition to TV, some radio stations and newspapers read and printed excerpts from some of the winning essays, further educating the public. As a result of this tremendous effort, 318 young people submitted essays, and I read each one and was impressed by the depth to which the young people had researched and prepared their entry. With help from volunteers, a grant proposal for funding was written to the Albany City Youth Bureau. we received that funding, which allowed us to hire one of our Y teens, Lorraine Young. Our volunteers were judges for the essays and also helped to solicit donors to cover some of the cost of the contest. I spent many hours, day and night, organizing the essays and preparing lists of duties to make sure the volunteers who had committed their time would be able to complete their task without interruption. The culmination of the essay contest included taping excerpts from the 28 winning essays. This work was donated by each TV station. The essays were aired on channels 10, 6, and 13 several times a day during the month of February 1981 as moments in Black history. The contest concluded with a recognition dinner dance held at the Nelson A. Rockefeller Plaza concourse level, meeting room 6, on Saturday, February 28th, 1981 at 6 p.m. The room was filled with the essay contest winners, their families and friends, Albany bishops, the mayors, and other elected officials, the Albany YWCA staff and board of directors, and all of the volunteers who worked to make the evening possible. Our keynote speaker was Dr. Wright L. Lassiter, Jr., president of the Schenectady County Community College. A certificate of participation and significant prizes were awarded to each winner. Our journal for the contest included the prize list and acknowledgments of patrons, ads, donations, and all those who volunteered to make the Albany YWCA famous Black American Essay Contest a success. The festivities ended with a dance with music furnished by the group Samore, led by saxophonist Ronald Cherry. The winning essays were on display at the YWCA 28 Colvin Avenue and McDonald's 1006 Central Avenue, where the proprietor donated and hosted a party for the winners and their families with food and prizes. 55 volunteers were used in some capacity. 318 youngsters were served directly, and approximately 250,000 people were served indirectly by viewing moments in Black history on their television. I'm encouraged by the words of Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who said, "If a race has no history, if it has no worthwhile tradition, it becomes a negligible factor in the thought of the world." I created, designed, and implemented the famous Black American Essay Contest while employed by the Albany YWCA. It is important for me to document this accomplishment so that future Capital Region residents will know the history and my legacy will survive. Deprive a people of its history, and you deprive them both of meaning and identity. That's a quote from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Remember, yesterday is history. Tomorrow, it's a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Thank you for watching and listening to my YouTube channel, Nell Stokes 80 and Up. Please share with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe. Be well and stay safe.